Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Shauna from Created and Made, and today we're going to take our Christmas decor and our gel plate and see what kind of prints we can come up with. What can we create? Fun stuff ahead. Stay tuned. Okay, so jumping right in, what I have here are window stickers that I got out of the Christmas section at Hobby Lobby. Now, they're intended to be window decor. You just stick them on your windows, and they're just very pretty little snowflake shapes, right? I like them because they're of the color and because they have this embossed sort of pattern on them. So what you saw me do was I just made a little pattern on my acrylic block, and now I'm taking my Play-Doh, which I rolled out with my fondant roller, and taking my Play-Doh, I'm just going to press it into the window stickers. Now this is going to create the negative pattern, and it's just a way to get the pattern transferred. I'm going to show you later how to do it directly without using the Play-Doh, but this is the Play-Doh method first. So I'm just trimming off a little bit of excess there. I'm going to get out my gel plate now, and I'm using some Meeden acrylic paints, which I really I am enjoying. I got this brand off of Amazon, and I will drop a link below for it. I think they're really great paints for using on the gel plate. And they're very pretty inexpensive, I should say. So I'm just patting this, trying to get it to pick up the paint. It didn't do a great job of pulling that paint off. I'm not sure why, but what I decided to do was go ahead and do a second pull to see if it'll come up a little better, because you can't reuse the imprint from the Play-Doh. So I just wanted to see if I can get a better impression. And this one's better. Like, it's not like crisp or 100% clean, but it's better than the first one in that it pulled up more of the paint. And I actually like the sort of messiness of it that is not so crisp. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull both of these and see how they both look. I think the iterations of the design turned out pretty lovely. I like this color combination as well. And see, that's a distressed sort of grungy representation of the print. I like it. I like the way it came out. This one's really pretty grungy too. I don't know. It was really stuck to that paper, but that is definitely not clean, but it still works, right? I think it's still pretty lovely. So this is where I'm going to go in directly with. I stuck the sticker to one of my stamping acrylic blocks, right? And so I'm just going in and pulling paint off with it, and then transferring it onto another 5x7 gel plate that I have sitting right next to this first one. And as you can see, it's pulling the paint off pretty well. The sticker is, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull this first and get this one all pulled up, and then you get the bonus print with that other gel plate off to the side. So as you see, this particular sticker can be used with Play-Doh, and it can be used directly onto the plate. You get a couple different iterations of the print, and it just depends on what you're looking for, right? What kind of print you are trying to get. Now, the second set of decor are pine stems. I'm not quite sure what these are used for. I mean, they're just decor items. I'm pretty sure, but I think you can use them in crafting as well. Now, I'm just going to, again, I'm going to do this one two different ways. This is the direct method, just right there onto the plate. This is an 8x10 plate. I'm press my cardstock down to pull off some of that paint, and you see the pine stem design that's left after I pulled the paint off. Now I am going to pull this and see. I actually ended up really liking this one, the color combinations and the sort of the way that the pine stems came out. So now this second method is again with the Play-Doh. It's just giving you a different way to do these prints. Now these ended up being quite different, and so using the Play-Doh, you can get sort of a 2-for-1 going on with the same piece of Decor. Now I'm just rolling the stems into the Play-Doh to get a good impression with it. And then I'm going to do the same thing you just saw me do before. I'm going to roll out some acrylic paint, and then I use the Play-Doh to pull that paint off. This is some Prussian blue, I believe, and my Play-Doh imprint there. And just pat, 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 sort of get it to pull as much of it as it can. And again, it didn't really, I don't know, there's something with this Play-Doh was a bit off. It's not pulling the paint like I'm used to the Play-Doh doing, but it's fine. Like, I really ended up liking how this print came out anyway, and I think it looks cool, and I think it's very usable. I think both of them looked great, so just two different methods to get yourself a nice print. This next piece of decor is embossed wrapping paper. I recently did a short showing this method with this paper, so if you've seen that, then you see me do this before. But this is just a bigger print of the same paper. Now this works because this wrapping paper is embossed. It has a slight raised pattern to it, and so it transfers, as you can see, really, really well. It's not a super, raised pattern. It's very subtle, but it still will transfer onto the plate just because of how amazing that the paint can pick up on these kind of subtle raised patterns. So I just did two different color choices here on two different 8x10 plates, and now I'm just going through and I'm going to pull these up. Now you can use any sort of wrapping paper for this, any of your scraps, anything that you have left over. It just needs to have some sort of tactile texture that you can feel that will transfer onto the plate. Just using a regular old piece of wrapping paper probably will not work. Next up is this set of Christmas Raffia from Hobby Lobby, again in these Christmas colors. Now what I'm going to do is go messy style directly onto the plate and just press it down and just give it a good rub. And then I'm not really picking up too much of the paint. I'm just getting that impression into it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and use some of these metallic Arteza paints to pull up this pattern. Now, I really like the way that this came out. I think it looks pretty cool. Just for something that I just haphazardly just pressed onto the plate. Now what I'm doing now is just using it like a stamp style. And that's just another way to get yourself a print to pull. So I think, what am I using? I think I used some more metallic Arteza paint in lilac to pull that print. It came out well. Okay, so this is my Target glass tree. I got this at the $1 spot at Target, and I'm just using it on the Play-Doh to roll out this pattern by pressing the top of the tree into the Play-Doh, and you can see it makes a really cool imprint. And so I got my meeting paint again, and I am using the Play-Doh method to take this tree print. I really like how this one came out. The Play-Doh allows you to sort of like use your imagination with some of these items that on their own, rolling that tree through that paint probably would not have created a pattern that would really be usable. And then I'd have to clean the paint off the tree, and I don't want to do that. So I just did two different colors again, the Prussian blue and Christmassy red color. And I think these prints came out really fun and kind of quirky. And just, you never know what you're gonna get when you go in with the Play-Doh printing. Yeah, I like how those came out. I really do. I like that pattern. And this was just a bonus print that I did using the bottom of the tree, and I stamped it into the Play-Doh and got myself another print there. So there's so many ways you can stretch these supplies, stretch this decor, because they're not really craft supplies, but we're gonna use them that way, right? Here is my Christmassy placemat that I had actually on my dining table, and I rolled out my Play-Doh to roughly an 8 by 10 size, because this is a pretty large placemat, and I'm just using my larger roller pin to make sure I get that imprint into that Play-Doh really well. You can see that it transferred over beautifully. I am going in again with some Prussian blue here from Meeden, and I'm just going to slap that Play-Doh over the top and pat it down and try to get that paint to pick up. And I can just in that peak, I saw that it was picking up really well. This one pulled off a lot better than those first couple ones that we saw. And I'm using some lilac metallic paint from Arteza. I like this color combination, the lilac purple and then the Prussian blue. It really is a good contrast together. And I just like the sheen of that metallic too. It gives the prints like a really I just like the effect of using the sheen. Okay, so this is a lace table runner. It has some stains on it, so I haven't actually used it. I have retired it, but I'm going to go ahead and do a print from it 2 different ways. Because I don't use it as a table runner anymore, I'm going to do first this Play-Doh print, but then I'm going to do a direct to the plate print as well. I'm trying to kind of push this into the Play-Doh because it has a low relief. Like there's not a lot that you're getting from this lace, so you have to kind of push it in pretty hard. And as you can see, it imprinted. It's not the most clean print in the world, but still usable. It's still beautiful. And I really like how this table runner just looks in any case, but using the Play-Doh method, I was able to get sort of a negative of it. And now I'm just going to go straight onto the plate with the table runner. And the only reason I'm able to do this is because I don't plan on using it as a table runner anymore. Obviously, acrylic paint will stain your decor if you go straight on to the plate with it. So you want to try to just use the Play-Doh method if you don't want to ruin obviously your table runner. You can see this is a pretty true representation here of the table runner. The lace texture, it really came out pretty good. Now this is the second table runner that I'm showing you guys. This is the one I actually had on my table before I took it and pressed the Play-Doh into it. This actually went really well with the Play-Doh. It has a lot more relief. I'm able to get a much better imprint of this one than I felt like I was able to get with the lace table runner, because I'm able to really smash this one in, and you can see pulling it up how deep that impression is and how well it transferred over. So I'm using my 8x10 plate. I have some whatever that is. Their Payne's, it's not Payne's gray. Space gray, I think, from Arteza, metallic color, and I am just going to smack that Play-Doh right onto the plate and give it some pats and see how well we can get this pattern to transfer over. And as you can see, really well. There's some on the side there that right there that I cleaned up before I did the final print. And by cleaned up, I just meant I wiped away that acrylic paint that didn't pull up very well. And I'm going to use a silver metallic paint to pull the print. And see, it's a pretty snowflake print, and it came out so it went so well. It transferred over really well. So you can see I use your table runner and you get a beautiful Christmassy print. Okay, so this is the recap. All of the things that we were able to do with our Christmas decor. So many things, right? Like before you put that Christmas decor away, before you get out your Tupperware and pack it all up, take a look at it and see what you might be able to do with it. What kind of prints you might be able to get if you use it on your gel plate or with your Play-Doh. There's our snowflakes. I did a second one that you guys didn't see on camera, but then there's our lace table runner and our pine stems. And that one right there on the side is actually one I did with pine cones. You didn't see me do that, but I used a pine cone for that one. Another cool print I was able to get. So that is that. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please go ahead and hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe as well. Before you go, check out this next video. I think you might enjoy it. I hope to see you guys next time, and in the meantime, keep creating and making. Bye bye.